All right, so welcome to another deep dive. And today we're focusing in on something really crucial for our automotive professionals and dealership teams out there. We're talking about the 30-day AI protocol transformation, and specifically how to actually build your team's capabilities to not just use AI, but really make it work for them.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, everyone's talking about AI these days, but it's not just about having the tools, it's about having the knowledge and the mindset to actually integrate it into your daily operations, right?
Absolutely. And I think the 30-day AI protocol really gets at the heart of that, this idea of AI not just being another thing you have to learn, but almost like an intelligent collaborator,
Mm.
someone or something that can really help you take things to the next level.
I like that, an intelligent collaborator, because it really emphasizes that shift,
Yeah.
Moving beyond just seeing AI as another task you have to complete to actually viewing it as a strategic partner that can help you achieve your goals.
Right. And I know for some folks out there, they might be hearing all this and thinking, well, hold on, I've been selling cars for 20 years. I know what I'm doing. But that's not what we're saying at all. We're not saying AI is going to replace that experience. It's about amplifying it.
Exactly. It's about giving you that extra edge, that ability to do things even better than you already are. And I think the story of Mike, who we've talked about before, really illustrates this point well.
Oh, yeah, Mike. He was a tough one to convince, wasn't he? What was it that finally made him see the light, so to speak?
Well, like a lot of veteran salespeople, he was pretty skeptical about AI at first, thought it was just a fad. But then he started observing this younger colleague who was really embracing it, and the results were pretty undeniable.
Hmm.
This colleague was creating these incredibly personalized presentations, researching competitors in real time during conversations, just wow, really impressive stuff.
So it wasn't just talk, it was seeing the actual impact.
Right. And I think what really clicked for Mike was realizing that AI wasn't making this younger salesperson a better salesperson out of nowhere. It was simply allowing them to utilize their existing skills in a much more effective way. They were still the one closing the deal, but AI was giving them the information and insights they needed to do it better.
Okay, that makes sense. So how did Mike, the seasoned pro, how did he start to make that transition himself? What were his first steps within the 30-day AI protocol?
Well, he started small, like most people do. He focused on what he knew best, which was the product. Mike had years of knowledge about every car on the lot, but he realized that not all customers are the same. A young family looking for an SUV is going to have different priorities than someone looking for a sporty coupe.
Of course.
So he started using AI to organize all that product information in a much more dynamic way, creating these like customer profiles so he could instantly access the most relevant details for each individual. It was like having a perfectly organized library of product knowledge right at his fingertips.
So instead of flipping through brochures or relying on memory, he had AI doing the heavy lifting.
Exactly. And then from there, he was able to take it a step further. Those comparison sheets that salespeople often use to show the advantages of one car over another?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Mike started using AI to create these super detailed customer specific comparisons. He'd input the models the customer was considering, and the AI, using real time data and customer preferences, would highlight the key features and benefits that really mattered to that specific person. It wasn't just a generic comparison, it was tailored to their needs and interests.
That's smart. Much more persuasive, I imagine.
Oh, absolutely. And it didn't stop there. Another big thing Mike started using was AI-powered call analysis. The 30-day AI protocol is all about this feedback loop, constantly analyzing and improving, and this was a big part of that.
So he's listening back to his sales calls, but with AI providing insights.
Exactly. AI can pick up on things that we as humans might miss. For example, Mike discovered that he had a tendency to talk too much in the beginning of his calls, rather than really listening to the customer's needs. And the data showed that his most successful calls were actually the ones where he asked more questions up front and let the customer do more of the talking.
Interesting. It's like having an objective coach who's reviewing every single interaction.
Exactly. And you know what? All these changes, they started to have a pretty dramatic impact on Mike's performance. His preparation time went down, his presentations were more engaging, his follow-up was more consistent, and ultimately his close rate went way up.
Sounds like a win-win.
It was. But even more importantly, I think, was the change in his mindset. He went from being skeptical about AI to seeing it as an indispensable part of his job. And that's really the key takeaway here. It's not just about adopting new tools, it's about fundamentally changing the way you think about your role and how you can leverage technology to be better at it.
Right, and that's really what the 30-day AI protocol is all about. This idea of AI as an intelligent colleague, a partner who can help you achieve your goals. And as you mentioned earlier, this partnership looks different depending on your role within the dealership. Let's talk about how that plays out for, say, a sales manager. How does AI become their intelligent colleague?
Well, for sales managers, it's all about using AI to become a more effective coach and leader. Imagine being able to analyze all your team's sales data, all those call recordings, and identify patterns that you might not even be aware of. That's what AI can do.
So they can spot areas for improvement that they might otherwise miss.
Exactly. And not just spot them, but address them in a much more targeted and effective way. Instead of just giving generic advice, they can provide specific coaching tailored to each individual's needs. They can also use AI to create training materials that are relevant to the challenges their team is actually facing, not just theoretical scenarios.
That makes sense. So it's about becoming a more data-driven leader.
Absolutely. And not just data driven, but forward thinking. AI can also help sales managers anticipate market shifts, identify trends before they happen so they can adjust their strategies and inventory accordingly. It's about being proactive, not reactive.
Okay, so AI really empowers sales managers to become more strategic. What about marketing teams? How does AI become their intelligent collaborator?
For marketing, it's all about taking personalization to the next level. AI can analyze massive amounts of data about customer behavior, what they're searching for, what they're interested in, and use that information to create incredibly targeted campaigns.
So instead of just blasting out the same message to everyone, they can tailor their approach to each individual.
Right. And it's not just about targeting, it's about timing. AI can help marketers identify the best time to reach out to each customer, what channels they prefer, what kind of messaging resonates with them. It's about making every interaction count.
So it's like having a personal marketing assistant for every single customer.
Pretty much, yeah. And beyond that, AI can also help marketing teams analyze the performance of their campaigns with incredible precision so they can constantly refine and improve their approach. It's about becoming more efficient and effective with every campaign.
Okay, so AI transforms marketing from broad outreach to hyper-personalized engagement. What about the leadership team, the general managers and dealer principals? How does AI become their partner at that level?
Well, for leadership, it's about making better decisions, more informed decisions. Instead of relying on gut feeling or outdated reports, they can use AI to get real-time insights into every aspect of the dealership's operations.
So they can see what's working, what's not working, and make adjustments accordingly.
Exactly. They can optimize inventory, staffing, marketing spend, all based on data-driven insights. They can also use AI to analyze market trends, identify potential risks and opportunities, and develop long-term strategies for growth. It's about having that big picture view, but with the granularity and precision that AI provides.
It sounds like AI empowers them to become much more proactive and strategic in their decision-making.
Exactly. And, when you have all these different teams within the dealership, all embracing AI as their intelligent collaborator, it creates this really powerful synergy.
Right. The whole dealership becomes more aligned, more efficient, more customer-focused.
Exactly. You break down those silos between departments. Everyone's working from the same data. Everyone's focused on the same goals. It's a real game changer.
And this whole approach, this way of working with AI, it really fosters a specific kind of mindset, doesn't it?
It does. It's what we call a growth mindset. People become more curious, more open to new ideas, more willing to experiment. They see AI not as a threat, but as an opportunity to learn and improve.
And that's essential in today's world, right? Because technology is constantly evolving, so you have to be able to adapt.
Absolutely. And that's one of the biggest benefits of the 30-day AI protocol. It's not just about teaching you how to use specific tools, it's about developing that growth mindset, that ability to embrace change and constantly evolve.
Okay, so to sum it all up for our listeners out there, what's the key difference between just using AI as another tool and really partnering with it as an intelligent colleague?
Well, a tool just does what you told to do. It's
Yeah.
passive, it's limited. But an intelligent colleague, that's something different. It can bring its own insights to the table, it can challenge your assumptions, it can help you see things in new ways.
So it's not just about automating tasks, it's about expanding your capability.
Exactly. And that's where the real magic happens. That's how you achieve those breakthrough results.
All right, so for all our automotive professionals and dealership teams out there, the message is clear. If you want to thrive in today's world, if you want to stay ahead of the curve, You need to embrace AI, not just as a tool, but as a true partner.
I couldn't agree more. The 30-day AI protocol transformation is a powerful framework for achieving that. And the results, well, they speak for themselves.
This has been a fantastic deep dive into a really important topic. And as you think about all this, here's a question to ponder. What's one area in your dealership right now where you're treating AI more like a tool than a partner? What would happen if you shifted that perspective, even just a little bit? What new possibilities might open up? That's something to think about.